Hello, blurds and blurdettes. TJ and JD coming back at you with yet again another episode of the Being Effing For Real pod. And boy, has a lot of random news happened this week. First things first, rest in peace, Angus Cloud, also known as Fez on Euphoria, unfortunately passed away 2 days ago at the age of 25. So young, so tragic. Lizzo apparently is abusive and a sexual harasser, and they cloned Tyrone as the hottest movie on Netflix. We cannot wait to dive into all these topics today. But first things first, how are you doing today, TJ? You know the drill.
Um, I'm doing great, y'all. I mean, minus the fact that I use expired gel and now my eyelids have bumps on them. I'm doing amazing here. It's just very irritating and it's itchy. So yeah, throw away your products. Life lesson. Throw away your products and get some new ones. Yeah. Oh, exciting news yesterday. I finally watched the finale of Cruel Summer. It was so good. It was so good. So we figured out who killed Luke, right? So at
Mm-hmm.
first we think it's his brother, right? So Luke escaped the cabin where where the girls left him, and he traveled off to the docks and he paged his brother to come and get him. And his brother came, and then him and his brother got into an argument because apparently their dad, who's an awful person,
Right.
blamed their mother's death on Luke. And so Luke told Brent, who is his brother, that actually it wasn't his fault and his mom was drunk. And then Brent like threw a fit and he pushed Luke off the dock. And Luke hit his head on the dock ladder really hard and fell into the water. And so Brent dived into the water to try and get him, and didn't work. So he thought he drowned. So he went home to his dad, and his dad was like, "Don't worry about it. No son of mine is going to jail." So the dad basically was gonna place the blame on Isabella for his son's murder, knowing that his other son killed his other son. Right? A hot mess. So now I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. You were going to blame a whole murder on an innocent black woman just so your white son could get opportunities and so you can carry on your dynasty? Absolutely not. This is just a long line and sucky things that he's done. Not only did he blame his wife's death on his son, but he's just also
Ooh.
very weird in terms of blind eye to his son's activities. Like his older son, Brent, was literally making tapes of minor girls. And he was like, don't worry about it. It's water under the bridge. Under the
Now that
bridge.
is trifling.
And then his son Brent assaulted Isabella, and the dad saw, and he came over and he was like, "Oh, what was that about?" Da, 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 da. And he was like, "Don't worry about it. It's just boys being boys. You'll be fine, sir. If you don't move, I hate Steve Chambers. He needs to go." So basically, they videotaped the girls videotaped them um interrogating Luke before he died, of course. And that's when Isabella shot his ear with the gun. And so that was on tape. And so they were like, we need to destroy this tape. So I guess Megan gave the tape to Isabella to destroy. But turns out there was a tape. So Megan and Isabella had a fight, and then there was a tape showed up to the police office, and it was of Megan holding the gun and Luke yelling at her for shooting him. And so it seems as though Isabella edited the tape to make it look like Megan was the culprit, right? And so they arrested Megan. And so then the brother, Brent, who knew that he killed Luke, was like, wait a minute, so we're going to let Megan go to jail for this? Because that's our oldest friend. That's Luke's girlfriend. He loved her. I love her. Da, da, da. And the dad was like, yeah, well, it's better her than you. And he was like, wait a minute, you're dating her mom. What do you mean? And so the dad is just selfish. But anywho, the whole fact they didn't step in, this man didn't step into action until he saw that his bestie was going to jail. They were all just gonna let Isabella take the fall for this. Like, what? That'll make no sense to me. And so the brother goes to jail and he confesses and he gets arrested and Megan gets let free, right? And so all of a sudden we see Isabella on a plane to Ibiza, right? And she meets this girl on a plane. She's like, "Yeah, I was just in this beautiful town on the water for a year with my best friend Megan, and she's so nice and beautiful and loyal." And then the girl is like, "Oh, well, I guess we can be new friends since we're both going to Ibiza." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess we can." She's like, "What's your name?" And Isabella's like, "My name is Lisa." Ah, girl, girl. It's giving Joe from you real heavily, very much so giving Joe from you, very much so giving Joe from you. And so basically, Megan obviously can't go to college anymore because her scholarship got revoked. Um, so she goes home, and one of her friends messages her about an opportunity to code in California. So she's all happy and dandy. And then she goes to the docks, like sits down, and she's grieving Luke. And then all of a sudden, she notices there's a camera in the trees this point at the docks. So she's a hacker, so she hacks the camera to watch the footage. Turns out, oh friend, this is where I was gagged. So we get to the lake, we see the lake, and then we see Luke. Luke has crawled his way out of the water, right? He's on death's door. He looks awful. He's he's basically dead at this point. And so Isabella's there. And I'm like, girl, how'd you get here? What are you doing here? And so Isabella looks down at him and she picks up her shoe. She got on heels. Picks up her heel, places it on his head, pushes his head down into the water, dead, and then kicks him back into the lake and walks away. And I was like, girl, girl. Now let's take a little break to hear from our sponsors. It's summertime, guys, which means it's the prime time for festivals and concerts. This festival season, planning for faster, efficient hydration is essential. Liquid IV has you covered while you prep before, power through to the headliner, and recover after the weekend. Its convenient packaging and delicious flavors like watermelon and hydrating feeling keeps me coming back for more. One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. They have 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydrating routine exciting. Made with premium ingredients, non-GMO, and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. This is the perfect thing to keep you hydrated this festival season. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code BFFRPOD at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop hydration today using promo code BFFR at liquidiv.com. She kicks him back in the lake. She walks away. And so I was like, oh my God, not she being Joe Goldberg. Wait, is that his last name?
Yeah. Wait, you
Okay.
really said that?
I was like, oh my God, girl, not you don't have to fly with a new identity onto the next victim. How you done murdered this man? First of all, okay, listen. I'm still sticking beside her. I'm still sticking beside her. That's still my girl. The main point is she came through town and tore down a white family in power who were terrible people and then caught a flight to Ibiza. I'm sorry. I have no choice but to stand. Like, that's mother. What do you mean you came through town, tore down this
Insane.
disgusting family, and then left? Like nothing happened. Please. She ate that in my book. And anyways, hold on. Anyways, it was a mercy killing. Cause if you could have seen that man, friend, he was basically dead. And it's 2000. It's January 1st, 2000. So what's she gonna do? Run home? Cause you didn't have a car. So she's gonna run home, call the cops. By the time they get back to the lake, she's gonna be dead already. And then they're gonna have to explain why he has a bullet hole in his ear. Then it would have been a whole mess. So she did the world a favor. Oh, and friend, I made some tweets. Oh, these people hate me, friend. I done caused controversy on Twitter, friend. Man, hold on, let me tell you. So I said, let me tell you what I said. Because I said a few things. Oh, I said Isabella wreaked havoc in her heels and hopped a flight to Ibiza. Okay, so I said the fact that Steve Chambers knew his son killed Luke but was gonna blame it on an innocent, to his knowledge, black woman, because to his knowledge, Isabella was innocent. So I was like, that's really weird. And then somebody was like, her being black had nothing to do with it. And I was like, the point flew right over your head. And this girl is really annoying because she keeps commenting on my stuff, what I say about the show. It turns out she's a really weird person, religiously and like politically wise. Because she was like stuff about like fat phobia and like homophobia and stuff. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, like, oh, get away from me. And they kept saying her being black nothing to do with it. Like, the point flew right over your head. First of all, this man is a white man in a small town. He owns all the businesses in this town. He employs virtually everyone. And he allows his two white sons to wreak havoc through the town and through the world with no consequence. Right? And then this black girl comes to town, and as far as he knows, she's very virtually nice. But as soon as his son dies, he's ready to place the blame of his murder on a black woman. Like, there's no, like, am I the only person who thinks that's weird? And like, no, my tweet got like 300 likes. So no, I'm not the only person. Like, that's weird to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of giving something not good. And then I also said, um, I said Megan was so annoying. Like, your man was a weirdo and you're still defending him because she found out that Luke was making a tape of her, and then also Luke was going to purposely put up a tape of a minor at the party, but he accidentally grabbed the wrong tape, so he grabbed his and Megan's tape instead of one of his brother's tapes. But he was gonna knowingly put a tape of a minor up at a party full of adults and other people just to like get out of a situation that he put himself in. And
Mm-hmm.
so then the girl went home and she was like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, da, da, da. It's like, girl, you want to forgive Luke, but you don't want to forgive Isabella. Like, it's not giving to me. And so I said, Megan was so annoying. Like, your man was a weirdo and you're still defending him. Now your man gone. And so it's this disgusting family. Isabella won because she did. And then the same girl who said the other comment was like, you're disgusting. And I was like, it's a show, lighten up. And she was like, I'm white as a cucumber. Thank you very much. Clearly not, girl. I gave her the Delulu Award. You see, friend? I put the Delulu Award meme because she was weird. Like, she's very weird. And she's like, I am a bee. Thank you very much. But kind of makes you one too, since you want to say clearly not after I said I was. Well, you're not, girl, because if you lightened up, you wouldn't be around here calling people disgusting for talking about a show. Like, you're a party pooper. And you're weird. Like, I looked through her likes. Like, ugh, get a life. Anywho, yeah, I caught some discourse on the Cruel Summer Twitter. But you know what? I had fun, friend. The show is over for now. But they ate that. Was it
Mm.
better than season one? You know what? I don't know. People keep comparing it, and I find it so hard to do because it's such different premises. But
Yeah.
like, yes, this season one gagged me. Yes, but is Isabella the best character to come out the show? Yes. So it's like, oh, and the plot twist.
Like the internal conflict.
Yeah, like, I don't know which one's better. I like them both. I
I
like
was
them
gonna
both.
ask you, did they officially renew it for season three like ahead of season two's release, or that's yet to be decided on?
I don't know, friend.
Mm.
I hope so, because this is like Freeform's best show,
Yeah,
their most
especially
popular
with
show.
all the strikes going on right now. Like, some shows, it's kind of like their futures are just kind of really up in the air at the moment. They're either delayed, some shows haven't been renewed, some might be canceled, so it's kind of a scary situation.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a whole mess, and it's like, are like, what are we gonna watch if we don't have actors? Like, pay them, pay your actors, pay your writers. What's
Mm-hmm.
so difficult? Like,
Right. And
we
it's
get you want to be on a yacht, Jeffrey,
mm-hmm.
but I want a new season of Umbrella Academy.
Right. I
And
think it's so interesting because when I was reading more into this, like, you know, you see some of these Hollywood actors complaining, like A-list Hollywood actors, if I may correct myself, that are complaining about underpayment. But that's just so ironic and a bit entitled to me because how are you one to complain about that when you're one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood? Like you should be like using your voice and platform as an A-list actor or actress to amplify the underpayment of the cast and crew, such as visual effects artists, makeup artists, costume designers, even extras in the movie or TV show. Those are the ones that go home underpaid into their one bedroom apartment. It's a
for
sad
sure,
reality.
for sure, friend, because though it really put into perspective how much people get paid. When I watched this TikTok of this girl talking about how much she gets paid as an actress, I forgot
Mm-hmm.
her name, but she's like, a not an A-list actress, but I know of her. And she's talking about how she gets this paycheck, but then she has to give it to her manager, her publicist, like this employee, that employee, this employee, that employee. So at the end of the day, she doesn't take home her full paycheck for herself. So I wonder, like, how much are these A-list celebrities taking home from their big paychecks? That's my
Mm-hmm.
curiosity.
And to build off of what you said about AI, it's quite interesting because the most recent season of Black Mirror, if those who saw it, you know what I'm talking about, the very first episode in season 6, Joan is Awful, in which that episode had put a focus on AI taking over Hollywood as well as deepfake. Well, I guess deepfakes technically go hand in hand with AI. But, anyways, so Black Mirror, I wouldn't be. It's like, ugh, oh my goodness, tripping over my words again. But I think the scary reality that we're living in, friend. I wouldn't be surprised if 10 or 20 years from now, that actors would and just like filmmakers as a whole, regardless if you're an actor, a cinematographer, a director, or a writer, they won't even need that anymore if they'll just completely generate like an entire season of a TV show or like a full length movie like through an AI simulation that they're already like mimicking like music artists' voices. Like I'm sure you've heard like some of those covers like Drake singing Ice Spice or Tim singing Rihanna or just something along those lines. And I believe that they tried to do the same thing with Ice Cube and he tried to file a lawsuit, but of course that lawsuit was a little beyond his paycheck, so he lost the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think right now it was J Lo that I heard recently that she's also suing AI because but it's like I'm thinking to myself, were you not the one that signed away your likeness? So it's like you really duped yourself in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like the funniest thing to come out of this AI situation is the SpongeBob songs.
Okay, those are valid. I'm sure.
uh,
There was this one on there. Like, have you seen like all the brother Patrick videos of Patrick like singing like all the Baptist church songs?
yeah. Oh, did you see Patrick singing Pound Town?
Yeah. Wait, did you see the one of Patrick singing Barry White, where it's just like, "You're my first, my everything."
It's hilarious. But the whole AI situation thing is so ghetto. Because at first I thought, okay, this is cute, this is fun. But then all of a sudden AI is like stealing stuff and
It got out
making
of control
stuff.
really quick.
And if you put like, I know like the fanfic writers are worried about AI. Cause like you put your stuff in AI, then like people steal your stuff and da 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 da. It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole mess. Like, all I wanted to do was make cute pictures and have funny
Right.
voices.
Aside from the AI mimicking music artists' voices and using like the deep fakes, there's also, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but there's this AI generator where you literally just type in a random word and it'll just create art like right before your very eyes in seconds. Like, let's say I type in the word the Terminator, like the system will paint an image to me of what they think the Terminator means. And you're obviously gonna think of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Well, that actually wasn't it. It was like a much realistically scarier looking version.
Mm. Yeah, and the whole art aspect, I certainly know that the artists are worried. Like I see it all over Twitter, and people were asking artists like, "Oh, is this your art or is it AI?" And it's like, this is an art
Mm-hmm.
page. Why would I be posting AI? Use your brain.
Right.
Like you're dumb. And then I you can't replace actors with AI. Like it's not gonna be the same. They don't have.
Oh, friend. Speaking, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just so it doesn't slide on my other ear. As to build off of artists and visual effects creatives, you know that Disney's under a really big lawsuit right now because remember the show Secret Invasion, like it just concluded this past week with Nick
Yeah,
Fury, Sam Jackson. That the opening title sequence that wasn't created by the visual effects team at Disney. That was completely generated by AI.
that's so weird.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, friend. So I
yeah.
guess I'll have to tune
It's a
in to
big thing.
see.
Oh yeah, it's not really a spoiler. It's definitely a big topic of discussion right now. Because when I saw the first episode, I'm thinking to myself, this looks a little off. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But I can't say I'm surprised that Disney, of all corporations, is the one generating AI and like putting crew members like out of payment because they're the biggest corporation in the world. The more money they have to them, it really doesn't matter of regardless that they put out quality content or not. Revenue will go to them no matter what if they own like freaking five properties.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't see how you can replace an actor with an AI because like, they won't have the same emotion, they won't have the same cadence or anything like
Hmm.
that. And then with artistry work, it's just not gonna feel authentic or like the same. Like to a certain degree, you can notice a difference if you are like looking for it. Like yes,
Hmm.
that will work for like children, but like for people like us, like adults who like see stuff and notice stuff, like that's not it's not gonna fly. Like we definitely notice a difference. So I don't know. Like capitalism ruins everything because like this was just supposed to be fun, and y'all
Hmm.
took it and ran with it, and I hate you.
And Mr. Elon Musk, like, Lord, that crazy man, that like
Oh my
if you
god.
ask me, I feel like we're in this situation really because of him. Because if you go back to like 2018, like 5 years ago, Musk was talking about this kind of stuff that like he wanted, like, the self driving cars, which we have now with some of the certain Teslas, which I know some of them malfunctioned off of the roads. Because why are you going to depend on a car to drive for you when you're taking a nap? Like, come on now. And then also, I heard, don't quote me on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if he said this, that he's working on some sort of like love bot, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I can't make this up.
Oh wow. I wonder how he's testing it. Anywho, he also ruined Twitter. Twitter is no longer Twitter; it's now X, which is ugly.
It's get to. And
I did not get the update. Thank God. I turned off my automatic updates because you're not about to get me. I
I wish I could
refuse.
say the same because one day I wake up and I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, apparently the bird's gone for y'all.
Yeah, it's literally just an X, whatever that stands for. It's from being completely honest, friend. It's probably one of like Elon Musk's like fancy symbols, because like I know he literally named his children after like these symbols. They're not even like actual names on their birth certificates.
Yeah, it's like X dash two something something something. I don't know, but that's ghetto.
That sounds like
Um,
a serial number of a Terminator robot.
yeah, it's giving somebody social security. Um, I don't I don't want to update my phone because I want to update the app because I don't want it. So I turned off automatic updates for Twitter. Because you won't catch me.
Hmm.
Half of my group chat has gotten X, half of us have not. So we shall see who's the last one standing.
Yes, we shall.
It's gonna be
But
me.
In other news, aside from these ongoing strikes, two rather random and surprising news have happened like back to back. First, we find out that actor Angus Cloud of Euphoria, who had played the character Fez, passes away at 25, which condolences to his family because
It's just
as I
terrible.
yeah, I read into the story that his father had passed away a week before, and according to his family, they were pretty much alluding that Angus had committed suicide because he couldn't um cope with his father's death, which that's wow.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And
Also, we had the death of Peewwee Herman.
yes,
Um,
Peewwee. He was battling cancer,
iconic,
right?
yeah, iconic childhood person. Just he was everywhere, so that's extremely sad. Sending condolences to his family as well, and I hope they're both
Yeah,
resting in
just
peace.
it's just very saddening, friend, because we just often forget a lot of times that these celebrities are people too. And like people are so worried about like the future of Euphoria, and it kind of reminded me of the situation when Chadwick Boseman had passed away in 2020. It's like these these people, they're more than the characters that they play. Like,
Hmm.
you know, let's lay them to rest in real life. Then we'll find out where the storytelling is going to go. I'm sure the HBO team is going to find some way, shape, or form to pay tribute to him and write him off properly without killing him off.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Corey Monteith situation. I know you didn't watch Glee Friend, but in the middle of filming a Glee season, Corey Monteith died of a drug overdose.
You did tell me that.
And yeah, he died of a drug overdose, sadly. And they basically had a episode and dedicated to him and his character, Finn. It was called The
Hmm.
Quarterback, and they were informed that that Corey, aka Finn, had died. And like all the characters grieved, all the actors grieved as well. All the actors got to sing songs. His girlfriend, fiance Leah Michelle, got to sing a song for him as well. Like everybody was singing, and everybody was crying. The tears were genuine. The feelings were genuine. It was, a very genuine grieving episode. And yeah, I hope that Euphoria is able to do something like that
Yeah,
and really send homage to him. And yeah, it's just extremely sad. He was so young. He was so talented.
so young.
And I'm sure he had a lot more to give. But
I don't know.
people
Oops, sorry.
people
No, you
struggle, and yeah, if you ever need anyone to talk to, we're here. Our
mm,
DMs are open. There's also hotlines and stuff. Like, yeah.
mm. Sorry, friend. I was really gonna say the same thing as you, actually. I think the best thing that we could take away from this, just always checking on your friends. You just never know. And what was I about to say? I think you really said everything that I would have said, to be honest. Yeah. So, next topic on the agenda, Miss Lizzo.
God, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
It's a
Uh,
lot to take apart. So I saved the post from the impact page on. Hang on a sec.
because Lizzo is known for being, this positive person, this
Yeah.
safe space person. Like, she's known for being all these
Mm.
things. Just so for this information to come out, like for there to be a legal lawsuit about it, it's just so disappointing. Like, all right,
So for y'all that are not aware of what's going on with music artist Lizzo, I shall read to you guys a thread off of the Impact page of Instagram. So Lizzo is being sued for sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Three of Lizzo's former backup dancers have accused her of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Here are the details. On Tuesday, three of Lizzo's former backup dancers accused the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. The lawsuit was filed in the Los Angeles Superior Court and named three defendants. Lizzo, also known as Melissa Vivian Jefferson, Lizzo's production company, and Shirlene Quigley, dance captain. In the lawsuit, three of Lizzo's backup dancers allege at a club in Amsterdam that she had, pressured them to take turns touching a nude performer's breast, even after they had said no, invited the dancers to, which I quote, catch dildos launched from the performers' vaginas and eat bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas. Asking one of her security staff members to strip on stage. Next slide. The dancers also alleged that Lizzo subjected them to excruciating 12-hour audition rehearsals after accusing them of drinking before performances. Lizzo allegedly planned to fire and send them home if their performance wasn't good enough. Dancers didn't use the bathroom out of fear of losing their jobs. One dancer, Crystal Williams, argued to Lizzo that they weren't drinking on the job. In response, Lizzo allegedly mocked her and then fired her 5 days later. One dancer, Ariana Davis, recorded a rehearsal due to wealth and health concerns from an eye condition. In response, Lizzo allegedly called out her weight gain, berated her, and fired her. Davis was then forced to stay in a room while the security staff member searched her phone to make sure that the footage of Lizzo was deleted. She is now suing Lizzo's production company for false imprisonment. The dancer also alleged that they experienced racist and fatphobic discrimination at the hands of company tour members. When asking for downtime comprehension of 50% weekly pay, they were told they were disrespectful before being offered 25% by the accountant. In the lawsuit, they state that only the dance cast, comprised of full-figured women of color, were spoken into this manner. Additionally, Lizzo's former performers claimed their dance captain, Shirley Quigley, was sexually inappropriate. According to the plaintiffs, Quigley described sexual fantasies, simulated oral sex, commented on the sex lives of other dancers. So then, in conclusion, the last side really says, which is really what I was thinking, if these claims are true, they go against all the values that Lizzo preaches, including positivity, love, and acceptance. All employees deserve to feel safe in working environments and free of discrimination in some way, shape, or form and sexual harassment, which I couldn't have said that any better.
Here, friend, let's listen to this real quick. Somebody said
Yeah,
this
of course.
was
Of course.
controversial. Let's see. Which one is that?
This is a banana bar.
Well, that's the banana bar?
Yeah, you
and
wear
they have the
banana
banana
bar.
in the coochie?
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go, trying to go to the store where you eat the banana. So
Foreshadowing that.
she was trying to go to the show where they eat the bananas and the ping pong balls. First of all, that's impressive. I'm sorry. They do their Kegels because you shoot it. You know how difficult that is? Shoot up. They do their Kegels.
Mhm.
They do. But yeah, she said she's trying to go there, which like, why take your dancers with you? I mean, yes, I get it. Team bonding, going somewhere fun with your girls, but like those are still your employees. So there's a boundary that needs to be set of the activities that you can do with them,
Mhm.
and also coercing someone into doing activity that they don't actually want to do is pretty strange and weird
Mhm.
and just not it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think one of my friends earlier, my friend Gifty, shout out to my friend Gifty. What was it she said? Because she really took the words out of my mouth. Hope she doesn't mind that I quote her. So she had said in response when we were talking about this whole Lizzo situation, this is why I don't idolize these celebrities. They will smile in your face to get a dollar, but a lot of them are mean spirited behind the scenes. A lot of them do effed up BS, but they end up not being held accountable because they're famous. Couldn't have said that any better, Gifty. I think it's a very unfortunate truth. Especially, when you consider that Lizzo's platform was built upon empowering plus size black girls and women, this is just dishearteningly ironic that aside from all the sexual stuff that like she berated and just caused a lot of uncomfortability for her dancers, that she was so called to pave a way for them.
Um
I
s-
really supported her cause, from day one.
Yeah, something else came out as well. So director Sophia Nahil Allison, who dropped out of Lizzo's documentary, says she has built her brand off of lies through a curated facade. She is a narcissistic bully and has built her brand off of lies. I was excited to support and protect a black woman through the documentary process, but quickly learned her image and message was a curated facade. And then she also said she dropped out and then a white man took over. So Lizzo creates an extremely toxic and hostile working environment and undermines the work, labor, and authority of other black and brown women in the process. Notice how the documentary ended up being directed by a cis white man.
Mm, what's the name of the
Uh,
documentary, friend?
and then she also said, to be clear, since I've spoken out, I've had others privately share their very similar experiences, and I have also been affirmed by people who witnessed what I went through. I stand with the dancers and anyone who has had similar experience working with her and her team. These working conditions are not okay. So this is just it's looking bad. It's looking bad, friend. It's not looking good. I don't know why all the it girls want to start acting up. First, we have Doja with her whole I hate my fans thing. And if you call
Uh,
yourself a kittens, then you need to go get a job and get out your parents' house. That whole situation. And like her
mm,
whole, oh, this was just to music to sell and da 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 da. This wasn't my real music. But it's like, well, you just released a song that sounds exactly like your other songs. So, like,
yeah,
what is it giving? Is not giving different. Then we have Ariana Grande just being a home wrecker, and then
yeah.
like that whole situation, and like with the married man who played SpongeBob in the musical, and it's like not the married man, and you're married too. Like what's happening?
Hmm. Ice Spice, to build off of you, she also lost a little bit of support recently
The
because
teenager.
of, well, not only that, but you can here, friend. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, so basically, I saw the video for Delhi, and I was watching it, and I was like, wait a minute. No, that's not who I think it is.
Hmm.
And it was. I forgot the girl name, but she was popular on TikTok like 2 years ago or something. Because she was young and she was like, doing all this provocative stuff, basically like a Malu 2.0.
Hmm.
And so I was like, oh well, maybe like she's not a minor anymore. I don't know how old she was back then either. But no, she's still a minor. She's still 16. So it's like,
Oh,
why you got her twerking in your video as a minor? And then we have all these men reacting to this video, like going hype over this booty shaking, and then
mm,
like they're looking at a minor's body. So it's just like, it's
yeah.
bad optics for everyone, especially because these guys more than likely don't even know who she is. They think she's like of age girl. So it just makes everybody look bad, and it's just not it. Like you could have had anybody else. There was no reason to put a 16-year-old in your music video. Not a singular reason. Yeah, friend.
To build off of you, friend. Real case scenario. To your point, they don't know who this girl is, but you know how a lot of these guys function. It's like they want to know who she is. It's like I really hope for this girl's sake that if she has Instagram, that she either deactivates it or who knows, maybe she doesn't have Instagram at all because that's
She
probably what
does.
happened. I hope that she doesn't have to go through what the Home Depot girl did. For those who know about that situation, that she got doxxed and everything, lost her job.
Yeah, she was already very popular on the TikTok platform and the internet itself for being so young and being provocative. And she also does have an Instagram. And her last Instagram post, or her latest one that I saw,
Hmm.
from somebody else's video was of her on her 16th birthday. Like she had her 16th birthday balloons and cake and stuff. So it's very obvious that she's 16. So if
Hmm.
anybody goes there and like is going to find her and do all that stuff, like you can't lie and say you didn't know she was 16 because it's on the front
Right.
page.
I think Ice Spice has definitely climbed down the stairs after hanging out with Nicki Minaj. I can't be the only one that noticed this. And to
No.
build off of this whole 16-year-old situation. She also, considering, I mean, at least from what I see, a lot of Ice Spice supporters are dark complexioned black women. And there was an interview from, I think it was maybe like 2 months ago now or something like that. I just vividly remember that Ice Spice had also lost some support because of in a particular interview that when she was asked about the question of colorism like affecting like the hip hop game, not even just the hip hop game, but the music game in general, like of how that had influenced maybe her career and and I don't remember her exact words, but I just remember she had said some really sly stuff. Like she was obviously really annoyed about it, and yeah, she just really lost support after that.
Mhm.
Like if she didn't want to answer the question, whatever, but the way that she answered it, she's like, "Why are we still talking about this?" And I can understand, like why her supporters were upset by that response because, of course, that's easy for her to say. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, Fred.
you're
I'm trying
good.
to get the Yeah, it's a mess. I don't see a reason for this to be the case.
How old is Ice Spice, if you know?
She's 23, right? She's born in 2000, I think,
Mm.
or 2001, something like that.
I was just asking because, like I said, it's been hanging out a lot with Nicki Minaj lately, and people were speculating that Ice Spice is being groomed by Nicki Minaj, but isn't she already in her 20s?
Yeah, she's 23.
Yeah, so I don't know why people came to that conclusion.
Yeah, it's weird. Well,
Yeah,
not to say that you can't be manipulated when you're older,
you're not
because
wrong
that
about
does
that.
happen.
'Cause isn't Nicki 40s? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Nikki, her whole thing with her husband is just not it.
Yeah. We were talking about. Oh yeah, we were talking about Lizzo before.
Hmm.
That like my good friend Gifty said, I think me and you being older people, we know better than to over idolize celebrities. But at the same time, you take it into another perspective that majority of Lizzo's fan base consist of a younger demographic that are plus size black girls, and when you take into consideration that it's not every day that they see representation to that kind of magnitude, the girls that look like them, like in Lizzo only being that representation. And if these allegations are true, that's completely down the drain. Like I said before, that Lizzo, that supposedly she was trying to claim away for this kind of representation, but who knows if that was just completely for show now? Which that's honestly an even sadder thought.
Yeah, I mean, the director made it sound like it's completely for show and it's a sham, and that this is a facade that she used to, get to where she is,
Mm-hmm.
which is disgusting. Out of all the celebrities, I definitely did not expect this type of behavior from Lizzo.
Yeah,
I'm not even a Lizzo stan, but I know what type of persona that she puts out,
yeah,
and
I
she has
understand.
certain expectations, and this wasn't it. But we should have known. We should have known when she came up with the whole Chris Brown situation.
I was just about to say that for what I remember, that's her favorite person in
Hmm.
quotations, which the side eye is starting to make a little more sense.
Yeah, it's giving not it. Giving weird. Like, why is that your favorite person? Your favorite person out of everybody that you could have
Like,
chose?
girl, I don't know.
You could have chose Beyonce. Like, be serious.
Like she could have chose like any other music artist. She chose Chris Brown. This is wild.
Literally anyone. Right, is there any more pop culture news?
We talked about Lizzo, Angus Cloud, the strikes in Hollywood going on. Um, hmm,
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's coming out soon.
yes, it is. I'm actually interested to see that because the animation reminds me of the Spider Verse movies.
Is it the same cast from the other movie?
the
For the
voice actors.
turtles? Yeah.
No, it's a new cast that they actually got actual kids this time, which
Oh, that's cute.
yeah,
Are they
that's why I was
black?
like some. I'm actually kind of wondering that now.
Let's see.
I know the new April O'Neil is a black girl, but I don't know about the turtles.
Nope.
Um, Donatello's voice
Oh,
actor.
Michelangelo is black.
Michelangelo and Donatello are black, but not Leonardo and Raphael.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, April's black. Jackie Chan is Splinter. Oh my!
I
Oh,
don't know.
this voice cast is stacked. They got Ice Cube, Paul Rudd, Giancarlo Esposito,
Ooh, Paul Rudd.
Post Malone,
Post Malone. That's so
Seth
random.
Rogen, and Ice Cube.
What was your other point?
Oh, so another point that I was going to bring up. Did you hear about what happened to Cardi B?
Oh, with the microphone.
Yeah, which
I'm sorry. That's hilarious. I'm so
so
sorry.
eh, well, I can't stand Cardi B, so I laughed a little bit. But at the end of the day, regardless how I feel for Cardi B, it's like, look, okay, so I'll use myself for example. You know my distaste for Cardi B, but I'm not gonna go to a concert just so I could throw a drink at her. That's just childish. Like, why would you do that? It's just like, and I've been noticing like this trend lately of people just throwing stuff on stage,
The
like at
mom's
music
ashes.
artists. Yeah,
Somebody threw
did
their
you hear?
mother's ashes at pink. For
Right.
what? That's crazy. I'm
And I'm
sorry.
sure you saw the one with Kid Cudi where he literally said, "If I see one more thing on this stage, that I'm leaving." And someone tried to test him, threw a soda can at him, and then he just canceled the whole concert, walked off stage.
Well, that's a waste of money. Now you look dumb.
Right.
He already got paid. You wasted your cash and everybody else's cash.
Yeah.
If it was like, if it was back in the day, he would have been jumped.
And another thing, it's like, why doesn't security do their jobs? It's like you see these people like throwing stuff on the stage, and not even just to mention that, but did you hear about? I think it was it? I think it was Monica at a Monica concert or something like that. That there was this woman that was getting her ass beat by her boyfriend, and the security didn't do anything, and Monica had to call it out.
Oh my god, that's crazy. You know what? My friend recently went to the Big Time Rush concert, and he
Mm-hmm.
said that when the band members like ran into the crowd, there were like people like pushing each other. There's this one dude who was pushing girls out the way for his girlfriend so she can get to the front, and he ended up pushing this one girl, and she ended up falling, and like nobody helped her except for my friend. So yeah, like the security were there, but like nobody ended up helping her. So she was just like laying on the ground. She said she was laying on the ground like Patrick Star. And
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was like, why would you say that? But yeah, so I was like, oh, poor
Wait, she
girl.
was just
That's
like,
so embarrassing. Yes. I was like, oh no, poor girl. That's so embarrassing. Like that's really dangerous. Especially because the girls were like going crazy and like trying to knock each other over and stuff. She could have been trampled. So I'm glad my friend was there to help her. But yeah, security at these shows is seriously lacking. Like everybody needs to step up and do their jobs better. Because at the end of the day, this just reminds me of the like this can be dangerous for both the audience and the performer, because this reminds me of the Christina Ricci situation. You know who Christina Ricci was?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like her situation where she was, at the meet and greet and somebody ended up shooting her. And it's like, where was the security?
It's so beyond me.
There was no reason for her to die. Like, do your job.
Anyways, y'all, thank you once again for tuning into the Being Effing For Real pod. This is TJ and JD signing off. But before we sign off, let's give away our socials. As usual, you could follow me on TikTok, Threads, Instagram, at Blurred Equal Vibes. It's just the same handle for all of them. I made it easy for y'all. Would you like to give away yours, TJ?
Don't forget to check out our socials. Follow us on Instagram at Being Effing For Real Pod. Follow us on Twitter at Being Effing For Real with the number 4. Follow us on TikTok at BFFR Pod 3. And follow us on LetterBoxed at Being Effing For Real Pod. And our socials are also in the description, per usual,
Oh,
and in our link trees. So we'll catch you guys in the next ep if you want to hear us talk about They Clone Tyrone. If you didn't watch the movie right this second. No excuses. I
yeah,
don't
this
care if
is
you're driving. I don't care if you're holding a baby. I don't care if you're in jail. Watch it right now
yeah, because this
because you
is
need
gonna
to.
be a very spoiler. Yeah, just gonna be a very much spoiler filled review. So you've been warned.
Extremely. And support Black people.
If you don't watch it, you're anti. So if you're not black, you don't watch it, you're anti-black. And if you're black, you don't watch it, you're a
Exactly.
coon.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't let us catch you being a coon. We'll come to the screen and hit you. You'll get jumped. But yeah, thanks for listening. Here's we're checking out.
See y'all.